Ladies and gentlemen, on-road user again, back at this lovely little park. Now I've got some very exciting news for you. Well, first of all, let me get this done first. This is a bit late actually. I should have done this last month. 5th of April last month was the anniversary of my being license free, TV license free, and it was 12 years, ladies and gentlemen, so happy anniversary to non-road user. Now then, some exciting news. In a few days time, it seems that a man is going to get married to a woman, and the 2-Bit Broadcasting Corporation are sending out a couple of cameras and a guy with a microphone to broadcast this very exciting event to the nation and indeed the world. And the 2-Bit Broadcasting Corporation have decreed for this event of national importance, I think that's what they quoted it as, that people like myself who don't have a TV license can watch the royal wedding, provided I or other people set themselves up as a street party or a community event, like at a community centre or something like that. I couldn't switch the TV on and watch it in my own home, but there again, I wouldn't really want to anyway. So there you go. The strange thing is that it seems to me that the 2-Bit Broadcasting Corporation are pitching this as though they're doing us all a favour, when in actual fact, ladies and gentlemen, the reality is, in my opinion, that they wouldn't be able to enforce it anyway. I mean, you know, they just haven't got the number of goons to go around every street party in every community centre in the land going, you know, do you have a TV licence? No. Alright, you know, well, in that case we're going to prosecute you, if they hadn't given this special dispensation, I mean, right? And that's what I mean by they couldn't enforce it anyway, even if they wanted to. It would just be an absolute logistical nightmare for them. Anyway, so that's the real reason, in my opinion. But of course, they're spinning it that you know, we are doing everyone a favour by allowing them to watch this rubbish, even if they don't have a licence. But anyway, there you go, typical BBC. So anyway, on to the main point that I wanted to discuss with you today. And a long time ago I came across a website. Now for the purpose of this video I'm going to assume it's run by a male rather than a female. So I'll refer to him as the guy who runs the website, right? And I'll put a link to it in the description down below so you can go and view it, right? Now this is very interesting to me, because what this guy does is every threatening letter that he receives from BBC TV licensing, he scans it and puts it up on the website, and it's listed in order of years. And this guy's a year ahead of me. It's 13 years since he's had a TV license, okay? And if you look through the letters that he scanned and put up on his website, you'll notice that they start off kind of a little bit mild, you know, then the threats escalate and escalate and escalate, and then after a while they just revert back to the start of the process. So in other words, it's all just bull and bluster from the BBC TV licensing. Now here's the interesting part, for me anyway, right? Like I said, 13 years this guy has been receiving these letters, and still is receiving them apparently. And one would have thought that even after a year, right, never mind 13 years, even after a year, the people at BBC TV licensing would have woke up and thought to themselves, hang on a minute, we're spending licence fee payers money printing all these letters out and, you know, franking the mail or sticking a stamp on them or whatever they do, right? And yet we're not getting any response back from this guy, because, by the way, in case you don't know, you're under no legal obligation to respond to BBC TV licensing letters, okay? And so they just plough on and on and on, year after year after year, right? And this has been going on for 13 years and still is going on. And I'm just wondering whether that would constitute harassment and or intimidation, because it just seems to me to be like kind of psychological warfare, you know. I suppose the BBC TV licensing would think that, you know, after a while, you know, this is going to grind people down and they're going to get sick of the letters, so they're either going to contact them or they're going to buy a license. Even better still, that's what they want ultimately. But I just don't know how they get away with it, you know. What other organisation in the UK would be allowed to send out letters of that ilk for 13 years? 13 years and counting. Beats me. I think it's about time somebody in government got to grips with this situation, because, you know, I guess it's kind of all right for people like this guy who runs the website and people like me, right? Because I get one of these threatening letters, I just open it, laugh at it, shred it and chuck it in the bin, right? It's just total and utter bull. But people out there who are, shall we say, more vulnerable, right, they would probably read these letters and absolutely crap themselves and think, oh God, they're going to take me to court, you know, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do the other, you know. Not that they ever would, right, because the best way to defeat them is to just totally ignore them. But it seems to me it's like psychological warfare that they're playing on people, and I don't agree with it, and that's why I call them the two-bit broadcasting corporation, ladies and gentlemen, because if the only way that they can survive is by threatening people virtually every month with letters and sending the boys round to the doors, knocking on the doors, have you got a TV licence? No. Have you got a TV? Yeah. Well, what's that got to do with it, right? I've got a TV, it's bloody big one, it's about 43-inch flat screen, right? It's not whether or not you've got a TV, it's how you use it, right? And I use mine to watch DVDs mostly. I watch the odd thing on Netflix, and I watch the news on ITV Hub on catch up, right? And that's about it, you know. I would dearly love to watch the news live, not the BBC news. I'm talking about like ITV News or Sky News or something like that. I would dearly love to watch Sky News live or ITV News live. But I'll be buggered if I'm going to pay £150.50 a year just for the privilege of watching like a half-hour news show each day, you know? I'll be buggered if I'm going to do that. And I don't see why I should have to. Because the ultimate solution, ladies and gentlemen, is for the BBC, I've said this before, for the BBC to encrypt their TV channels, right, like Sky do, and you know, you sign up and you get a box and they send you a viewing card and you put the viewing card in the box and it unscrambles all the BBC clatter, right, and then the government could free up the airwaves for the commercial broadcasters, right, and then they could say, right, well, you know, there's Sky News, it's free to air, so you can go and watch Sky News, you can go and watch ITV News, you can go and watch ITV whatever, live, right, because the people who are the beneficiary of the licence fee, the BBC, would be encrypted. So if you weren't paying the subscription for their services, you wouldn't be able to receive them. That sounds like the fairest way to do it, for me, anyway. But apparently the BBC don't go a bundle on that idea, and that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I call them the 2-bit broadcasting corporation, because they just cannot survive without threats and intimidation, and it's absolutely ludicrous. So I think that's it, is it? Oh yeah, that's another thing. This guy who runs this website with the letters, right, he also, when he registered the domain name, he noticed a short while after he'd registered it that the BBC had gone out and registered a whole shed load of other domain names which are very, very similar to the one he registered, right? And I don't think they actually do anything with them. They're just sat there so nobody else can come along and grab them. But there's a whole shed load that they registered, the BBC, right? All out of licence-free payers' money. And, you know, oh God, you couldn't make this stuff up, could you, really? And there's loads of other things on his site as well, like, you know, what about detective hands? Yeah, well, and other things as well. So, like I say, link in the description, right? Go and have a look at it, because it's a really good site, well worth a visit. And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen, I think. So I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the like button, click the dislike button, and all the usual stuff. So see you later. Bye.